What? Hi guys, welcome back to Cupcakes and Protein Shakes. I am your host Savannah, and we are going to be doing a really fun episode that I've been excited for. So one of my new friends that I've met in the WBFF at this past show at Worlds, you're going to come on, share your story. We're going to go into fitness, mindset, health, your journey. So welcome to the show. Introduce your name and tell us where you are from.
My name is Yocheved, aka Yo. Yocheved is a hard name to say, so Yo. And I've been doing this for a while. And of course, my dog wants to be part of this now, all of a sudden.
That's fine. My dog's sitting right next to me. He's here hanging out.
Ginger. Come on. Yeah, she's like now crying. All right, come here, boo-boo. Who wants to see Ginger?
We love furry friends to join
And
us.
she'll come back. So I've been doing this for a while. I met Savannah at the show, Worlds. It's a big show, so much going on, right?
No, it was crazy. I still can't believe like it's over. Like it happened, and it's been what, 2 weeks now since it's happened. And
I know I had a nightmare where I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I missed the show.
Oh, like after the fact. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was crazy. But like it was such a wonderful experience. I mean, one of the biggest things that I love doing on the shows is meeting new people. And I know that sounds kind of like a little cliche about, whatever that would be for some, but like for me, it's meeting the people that I'm going to make connections with. And, you were one of those people. And we had a room together.
Yeah, backstage.
We went through it together.
Yeah, we had a little backstage, waiting for ever and ever what it seemed like for the show to begin and starting, and like the nerves. I was so freaking nervous. Like honestly, like my memory is so blurry of
scattered. I don't think blurry would be the right word. I think scattered, right?
Yeah.
Like bits and pieces.
Like what day was everything that I thought was going to happen, it's a week long of events. So going into it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to take forever to get to show day. But the second I was in Vegas, it was like this event, that event, this show day is going so fast. And it's just like,
just like to go back, pedal a little bit. I feel like you looked amazing. So you would never know what was going on in our heads about like space and time, right? So that didn't affect our appearance. It was really
look at my face shots. I look at my face shots.
And I know that we're talking over each other for a second. I'm sorry, but I wanted to start at the very beginning when I met you, because I feel like that's a really good connection spot, because we kept bumping into each other through our experience.
Was that registration line?
Yes, you were in line in front of me.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yeah, so we were about ready to get, did you get your pro stash?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
So
it was a big deal.
Okay, so first off, like, I don't really know anyone except for my posing coach. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know anyone. So I didn't really think about the fact that I was going to the show and not knowing anyone until I got there. And then I got there and was like, who am I going to talk to? Like, I don't know anyone. It was like, it'll be fine. It always is fine. But, I don't have like a buddy I can text, be like, I'm going down to the line.
First of all, right away, I was like-minded. That was the first thought I had. I was like-minded girl. And I was just so happy that you said hi.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, hey, I don't have anyone here. If you'd like to talk, this would be great, because we're going to be waiting here for a long time. So that was like our first.
It's like one of the things that I love to do, actually. I have met some very interesting people. I don't know if I keep in touch with everybody all the time, but like I feel like a like-minded spirit is a good spirit to have around you, regardless. Because you never know where the world will take you.
Exactly.
It's good. It's just a good thing to do in general.
Yeah. So we started off, we had registration on Wednesday. So it's like you had to check in and get your official number and then get your pro stash if it's your pro debut. So that was like a very exciting moment. I'm like, oh my gosh, the stash is coming, that we worked so hard to get this pro stash.
The nerves. I mean, I waited a long time to get that sash. And not only did I wait a long time to get the sash, which was a big deal for me, because I came in feeling like regardless of the number where I came out on stage as, regardless of how I even looked on stage. Just getting that sash was such a big deal. Because like there's this big buildup before you get it.
Exactly.
And like, what does that mean? And all that hard work you put into it and all that discipline and the follow through. And then COVID happened for me, where I couldn't come and get this sash right away from my coach. And I had some body stuff I had to take care of. So like, it just stopped me from getting the sash. But I feel like nothing can stop you from getting what you need to get done. It's just that this is the way it was supposed to work out.
Exactly. That's how I felt like it didn't.
That's the way I feel about life, but that's just my thought process.
No,
let me move a little bit out of the sun.
Very similar of like, it's meant to happen when it's supposed to happen. And there's no rushing it to if it, whether it was replacing or, oh, it wasn't the right dress or the right, whatever, like you're going to learn regardless. And
I have something very wise to say what you're saying too. That like, I always feel like, you're about to bloom, right? Like a flower, right? Bloom, you're like, why didn't I bloom? And I feel like that's really not your job. You're supposed to bloom when you're supposed to bloom, and that will take its destiny and it's fine. Like you do everything you can do in your control to bloom, but when it's your time to bloom, that's when you'll bloom.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that so much. It's like literally you can't rush what is destined for you. It's coming regardless. You can only, control what you can, and then the rest is just going to happen. Crazy things are going to happen that you didn't expect, and timelines. You're going to meet people and situations that are going to happen into your life that was you couldn't. There's no way you could have predicted it.
Right, like the shifting and the moving. Right.
Yeah.
So the shifting of where you're going, what you're doing, all of that. And talking about shifting, we are tea partying, right?
Yes. Okay, but I decided.
I forgot to say it. We're gonna have tea party.
A different direction with our tea.
Oh my God, it's okay. You be you, right?
We're doing Diet Dr. Pepper.
What is that?
Strawberries and cream Diet Dr. Pepper, 0 sugar, which it's not my favorite, but I had one of these left. It's like, I don't really feel like tea right now. So we're doing some Diet.
No, it's okay. I just want to show off my tea set.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I love it. I think you a dress for the occasion, because today we were spilling tea. We were spilling the tea. I love it.
You're spilling on the tea of like all the fabulous things to do.
Yeah.
Spilling the tea doesn't always have to be negative.
Yeah, no, it's positive tea. I love it.
Tea.
Okay, so
like I have a list. List, right?
I know. I was like, let's
like
get into
we like we're gonna keep interrupting. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You know what I love though? At least we're being our true authentic selves and not worrying about like all that other crap.
Oh,
so the first thing on my list, oh my God, is bright lipstick.
What? Okay, what does that mean?
For me, like it was like my lipstick wasn't the brightest, and like when I was doing the facials or whatever you want to call it, the serious, the more sexy, whatever variety of that, the lip color and my face kind of went together. So, and I remember, and this is something that I'll say out loud to the podcast. I used to model. I should have known better. So the first thing I wrote down, and when I say model, like runway shows, that kind of thing, they always used to yell at us. This is the funniest call, and I hope this connects okay for the audience. They would be like, white girls and dark girls, remember bright lipstick. I mean, no joke. They would shout it out loud right before we would get on stage, because the lights would draw us out. And even though I was doing the tan thing, which was a whole another procedure, and I can still see marks on me, I have very fair skin. And that's just who I am. I'm blonde and red. It's just my genetic makeup. My lipstick definitely wasn't bright enough. So unless I was smiling, like big ass smile, you couldn't see the face. So that's one thing on the list that I definitely would have shifted if I was watching myself.
Yeah. No, okay. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because I looked at my stage shots from Orlando and I noticed I specifically looked at my lipstick and was like, that is not dark enough. I need to make it a priority that the next
Right.
time I have, because I told the makeup artist for Orlando I wanted a natural like nude mauve, but it ended up looking like nude on stage.
Right.
Again, stage lighting. And like the
Because
team,
we're also very dark. Like
yes,
you're
yeah,
completely a different, you look
yeah.
different.
So I
Yeah.
made sure my lipstick was like almost like a grapey, mauvey, dark color. But when
Right.
I looked at my makeup, like I love my stage look. But again, we tried to level up and we tried to change. I thought like compared to a lot of the other girls, I did my makeup super dark. I did it very dramatic and I wish I would have gone more natural glam.
Know about that. I thought your makeup suited you. You look like a Greek goddess.
I don't know. I just like
I
it
don't know.
was
Maybe it's my nails talking.
I prefer myself looking like a natural glam, and I
Oh,
felt like
I know,
I was
but
wearing the heaviest makeup I could with the smoky wing. It was super dark. Like I loved it, but going forward, it was like that's not quite me. That's who I thought I needed to be on stage because I thought I needed to like almost go over the top of what I'm used to doing on stage. So I was like, okay, let's go full craziness, like full dark, smoky smiles. I'm like, no, I want to just go what I like. I like the same look every time, just a light little shimmer, almost like a bridal look with a light wing. That's where my happy place is.
what I was gonna say next, like when we're talking about aesthetic and look, like there's so many things that change all of this to present this, right? So when I say this, the bikini, all the hard work, like obviously when I'm fair skinned, you can't see all the definition and all that hard work that I put in. So that's why we go darker. So
Yeah.
just to address that it's important because why can't a fair girl just go up looking like a fair girl? Apparently there was an OG, somebody said it, I don't remember her name, so bad at remembering names, but it's somebody who was very fair skinned who didn't go up with the tan. So it's part of their look, right? Like we do the WBFF stuff and they're very glam oriented. And so that was my next question was like, how do you feel without your glam squad?
Without my what?
Glam squad.
Oh, fine.
I'm like, where's my glam squad?
Oh my gosh. Okay, it did feel like you're a celebrity because you get
No,
there.
I'm making a joke because I loved it.
Hair and
Like,
makeup.
I was like,
Time.
yes,
You're getting
holding on
pampered.
every
Just
day.
literally every day you're getting hair and makeup done, and you're like, is this what like Kim Kardashian is feeling like? Because I could get used to this.
Yeah, it was fun. Like there was a part of me that really enjoyed the experience of just celebrating that. And it wasn't even about like me, it was about the transformational piece. And I'm
Yes.
all about transformation. So like transformation, yo.
Yeah. There's my
And I think when you love it, it becomes who you are and it just rocks it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
no, I like the transformation piece because a lot of times, like at the end of a prep, you look horrible, right?
right. That's the big joke.
Makeup, grungy, gym clothes. Who cares? It's not stage day. I don't have makeup on. My hair is all sweaty. And then you go and you go complete 360. And now it is like full glam, tan, hair, makeup, lashes, dresses, gowns, like flashy.
Boobs, cleavage.
Yes. All the
Cleavage, but like
yeah.
everything is whoosh.
Yeah.
I was amazed and like it's so funny hearing my echo from the extra Zoom. You have to teach me, a wise one, how to do this better. But like I got this down, so we're good. I was gonna say like the individuality of everybody kind of came out, and I particularly paid a lot of attention to watching that experience for me, and I loved it. And I feel like the WBFF has an amazing platform for that. It takes some time though to show who you are, but eventually, like it's you have your own people, and that's what's gonna shine through is your authentic self through whatever it is. So be patient with that if you're competing with them because they're the best ones out there for that. I don't, there is no other organization or federation that can do that for you. like I admire the NPC, right, categories, you know, that kind of thing. But like, I remember going into a gym or a school, what is that called? Like a school auditorium. So I appreciate the stage. There's, you know, that's what's amazing about their, you know, platform. Don't you agree?
Oh yeah, no, like it's a chance for you to like literally showcase your personality in any way that you see fit when it comes to color that you wear for your suit, when it comes to the details that you put on it, like your earrings, your shoes, how tall your shoes are, and then you're posing on stage. Do I want to do an extreme hair flip? Do I want to not? Do I want to do this move that I like on my body? And do I want to go flirty, sexy, happy, fun, like
Right.
cutesy? It's all those different things. And I really liked, again, it's trying to find your what your stage look is, and then what your stage like personality is. So like, you know, this is only my second show, so I'm still trying to figure out, okay, what is that for me? Like, what is, you know, my signature look, or like what is that move, or like what do I want to bring to this stage when I have so much control over every piece of it.
I couldn't disagree, like with like whatever you're saying is right on, because it is about that. And when you present it in the right authentic way, which takes practice. I'm like looking at both screens and I said that. Because you have to get on stage a couple of times to find that. That doesn't just happen. And so when people get sad about, you know, hey, I didn't do it, you did it. You did that run through for your authentic self. You presented your package beautifully, and that in itself is a, you know, is something to celebrate. Personally, I think you think the same way. That's why we're kind of like-minded in that respect, because we can say,
Honestly,
yes.
I didn't know if I was like, I knew that the chances of winning a world title at your pro debut was like none. So I was going up there just to have a good time, just to do it.
Me too.
Like, it's really, is it truly about winning every show? It's about a learning experience. So I know, like, kind of like optimistically, I was like, you know what? Good, bad, whatever placing, it doesn't really matter. I'm just happy to be able to compete and do what I love. So, like, honestly, I felt like I won. I felt like I won the show. Like, I left and I was like, oh, my family and friends, supporters, like, I had so much good, like, so much fun backstage. I love my stage shots. I had so much fun the whole week. Like,
Oh,
that's,
we have to talk about that. By the way, my Instagram just went off. We're gonna leave it. Is that okay?
yes, it should, yeah, that should be fine, because I think people can hear it through.
Yeah, and they can come and watch us here. They can
Yeah.
tune in. That's the point. Little teaser.
It is.
Now, I love this, by the way, and I appreciate being online with you here on this podcast. I'm just going to move it over a little bit so we can see my beautiful tea set.
Okay, and then I saw that you made like little treats too.
Yeah, I want to show. Look. Dude.
Wow, those are beautiful. I wish I could have them.
So we have figs, so they made little sandwiches.
Yes, I
So
love that.
I'm big on baking. Like, I love to bake. And I was telling you that, like, it's hard for me because I love to bake and I can't bake all, you know, year round, because if I'm doing these shows, it's just going to be really hard. So what I'll do is have a week of integrating like the food that I love, and then, you know, slowly fading them out, because my key method with food is that food doesn't grow legs and runs away. It is here with us. We have it. You can make a healthy relationship with it without suppressing ourselves and keeping to our macros, but also using it as fuel. Like this, I'm just saying, the worst part about it, you're gonna laugh, is actually the jelly, because that's where it has sugar.
Yeah.
I use everything in this. It's coconut. It's like really good fat. It's got egg. It's got protein. It's got like a really good density to it, that it's just like the food itself is not an empty calorie. So
Yeah.
the only thing that in here that is bad is the sugar from the jam, and that even is like, you know, organic raspberry preserves that, you know, are not going to really hurt me. but I
How have you
still
been
I enjoy
doing
things.
like your reverse diet? Have you been doing good or bad?
I like to think that's a good question, because I will take the question and flip it a little bit, because there's no such thing as bad and good with the food. I feel like, but that's a really good way of directing it, the question, the way you said it. Like, I feel that I'm doing a great job of respecting what I feel that I'm craving and keeping to it, but also not overdoing it. So like, I already am very sensitive to gluten, so I haven't been doing any of that. I'm sensitive to sugar, so I don't really do that. I am already sensitive to dairy, so I don't really do that. I do it on the interval, like a little bit here and there. And reverse dieting and seeing your body change, that's really hard, because for me, my next goal will be to put on more size. And my coaches are pretty damn good about their job in that respect. That, you know, you don't chase your abs, you let them go back to a natural state so you can develop them later on for next show, and really educating yourself about what is visually right on. So, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror when you're doing your check-ins, it's hard when you are reverse dieting, because you're going to see the weight come on, and you might not like it 100%, but you know it's good for you, because you will develop more from it for next stage. And that's what this is about, is building, right?
It
I mean,
is.
how do you feel that you're doing? I mean, those are my thoughts on it.
I would probably give myself a B minus if we're giving grades. Not perfect. I definitely could have tried harder. Last week, I went a little crazy with some ice cream, and I had some
Oh
drinks.
God, ice cream is okay.
Had a lot of ice cream. It definitely wasn't, it was over macros, but like, it's not that I don't care. It's just like, I enjoyed it and it
Right.
was good. And I
I
kind
just
of,
have to, I'm sorry, I just have to make sure that she's okay.
yeah,
Yeah, she's okay. Your mama.
I don't know. Like,
Sorry.
oh
She has the cone of shame. I'm sorry, everybody.
my gosh, it's so cute.
Yeah, she's so cute. But by the way, she did make an appearance at the show. But
Yes.
like, yeah, she did. And everybody loves her. I mean, she's got the ginger factor.
Oh my gosh, she's super cute.
She is the cutest. Okay, so I'm sorry. What were you saying about that?
Yeah, like I've reversed 10 times. So this is my 10th one. And I don't know, I feel like it's my best, but it's weird. Like I'm not, like, as far as the weight goes, my body responded pretty well this time, like the best it's ever responded. But in terms of adherence, it wasn't perfectly, but it was sometimes weird. Like one day I just wasn't craving vegetables. So I just like didn't have any vegetables that day. And then the next day I did. So I mean, like,
but what I said was very true to what you're saying. You do what you're craving, so maybe you didn't need those right then and there. Like coming off of the show is a big deal for your body. It needs about 2 weeks to acclimate. Like if I got on the scale, I will be a big difference between yesterday and today, and I'm like okay with it. That's because of my experience.
Yeah, no,
and my experience has been, how many shows have I done?
Exactly.
So, and those were extreme shows. I'm not gonna mess with you when I say that. Like,
yeah,
they were extreme shows, meaning like the way, the methods, the difference.
Oh yeah.
Quality. So, girl, you probably.
Yeah, I mean,
fine.
I feel a lot better because my prep always are extreme. So like at one point I was doing 7 days a week of 2 hours of cardio plus an hour of training. So I was in the gym for like 3 hours and eating little to nothing. So like, honestly, I feel pretty freaking good right now, even though I know, like, I can tell I've gained weight in like my face, my body, my scales, weight's up.
I personally think you look amazing, but that's just.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But like, no, I just can tell like clothes are filling out, but I like myself a little fuller anyway. So it's really not a big deal to me anymore. And I carry all my body fat in my glutes. So to be honest, like they look great. They
lucky girl. Like I have to work on building those.
I was like, if only this could stay when I'm like lean and this was muscle, like whatever. So it's
that's the hard part. Yeah, you can see my treats better. Just
yes.
put it there like that.
It is hard. It is
The lighting, it's New York City, guys. It's sunny out here, so that's why I'm trying my best here. And by the way, I painted these, but
yes,
like
I love it.
trying to hide the sun.
I know it's gonna be
Like
hard.
New Savannah. I mean, it was really cute until the sun came over.
But like for reverse dieting too, it's like for me, I'm like always, I kind of, once I complete a show, I take what I need from it and I leave that everything in the past, that suit, that body, that mindset, whoever that was on stage, it's no longer me now. Like I'm just progressing as I am now. And now I'm like, okay, what do I do to get to my next self, my next goal?
Right. And this is the big part that like one of the things that I wrote down, and I know this is a little bit more of a deeper conversation versus like the lighter stuff, which I want to get to the bikini thing. I want to get to those things, but like, being okay and comfortable with loving her who was on stage and respecting her for all that hard work that she did, because it is hard. Woo! The energy, right? Just knock down those sandwiches. It is hard to hold that and hold it for others, because like you and you train people, right? I train people. Holding that energy and space for yourself and others, that's a hard thing to do. And so the people who have, let's say 30 clients, I admire, because that's a lot of work. You have to take care of those people during your process.
Yeah, no,
It's a lot of prep that goes into this. You don't just do a show after 3 months.
no, like
I don't understand that. Like this took me 2021 is when I became pro, right? So 2021, that's almost 2 years to this day now. But I went through some surgeries, and that we can talk about it at another time, like how I recovered and all that. But like the symptoms, I thought I wasn't going to make it. And just, being able to say that out loud is very cathartic for me, I think. And being true to my authentic self, it's challenging because sometimes I get choked up about it. Like I remember chatting with Paul for a second. He did this whole speech about every day. It was a little hard for people to hear about like waking up and being like, yeah, thankful that I'm alive. Like I get it. It's hard to do that too. But when you go through an experience, when you're in physical pain or discomfort and you don't know what's going to happen to you next, you actually have this empathy for that concept, right? Am I saying it clearly enough? I think without going into all the explanations of why or what, I just think that there's an empathy. And when you have that inside you, you do wake up every day and say thank you. And, and like I spoke to him, and you were there because you filmed a little bit for me. And that's going back to our stories, how we found each other through our journey. You were so kind to do that. And I so appreciate that, by the way. And I tried to do it for others too. And I was like, yes, it's reciprocal. So, sometimes how we go, oh, I'm doing this for others and it's not happening for me. That wasn't the case with my energy, your energy, a lot of our people that we kind of circulated around. But going back to what I was trying to say about Paul, was that like, I had those words and I almost choked up, and I said, no, I understand you. And I appreciate that you said that, because that's like, I wake up every morning and I'm very thankful for my soul returning to my body. I think that's something that us fitness people feel sometimes. We don't always talk about. I mean, we're human beings too, just like everyone else. They think we're Superman or
yeah. No, I mean, it's good to.
By the way, she's like always by my desk. This coloring book, my friend Scott, I love him. Like he's gonna be like, oh my God, you mentioned me. He gave this to me on one of my first shows with the WBFF, and it's coloring book. So sometimes I go to this to remember my internal strength. Yeah. I think we all need to find what drives us to that point. And it's not, for everyone, but for me, I like it. No, right? I think it's you identify as my Wonder Woman right now. You got the look.
Yes, yeah, every day I'm Wonder Woman. Like it's just
Exactly.
when you do fitness, it gives you appreciation for your body. And like it comes from a sense of gratitude. I've done
Right.
preps where I wasn't grateful every day and I hated the process. I was like, oh, I have to go do cardio. I have to go diet. Ugh, I hate this, blah, blah, blah. I hate that I'm getting lean. I hate like I've been in such a negative space before. And it's just
Sorry to laugh, but like I'm laughing with you. I'm not laughing at you.
no,
I
yes,
get it.
I mean, if you literally think that it's going to be a horrible prep, it's going to be a horrible prep. I stopped doing that and then it got so much easier. It
Well,
becomes,
that's what I was going to say. I was going to say you probably had not such a great experience on stage with that information.
yeah.
Like changing the dialect between yourself is key to move you forward. Like you cannot be at you like a teacher growing like this, you naughty person. It's never gonna like that doesn't support you or help you or at
And I
all.
realized that with like going into a show, all you can do is your best. That's it. And no matter what happens during that contest prep, if you did your best, then that's a win. And then you just
Right.
move on.
Right. And that's kind of what I think Paul's message was at the beginning of the show. Like, which I was just really, I took in a lot. I think a lot of people probably were like, oh, I don't, like for me, I really resonated with that and I wanted to tell him and that's why I did. And so thank you for taking that picture. And also like, being like-minded is important to me with anything that I'm doing. And yeah, so anyway, so there was that. So that was pretty, more on the heavier side of like the feelings. But can I just say, these are the things that I wrote down. I want to change the subject to the bikinis. Okay. So you were so smart about this. This is something that I thought about, but I didn't realize like, hey, this just could work. You did a costume change. I thought that was so smart and hot. You
Yes.
did one suit in the AM, and then you did one suit in the PM. Now, my suit was extremely couture looking, and it had a little flower. It was so beautiful with the cherry blossoms and the theme. But like, I would have totally done that if I thought it was possible to do that, but I've never done a pro show before. I've only done the amateur shows where it's very different. You're downstairs, you're kind of secluded, and you're wondering what's happening upstairs.
Yeah.
But I want to be there. That's kind of the buzz. That's really the buzz. Everybody wants to level up, which is a good thing. This is what we should be doing in our lives, wanting to level up. I didn't know if it was possible to do that. I thought I could possibly change my dresses, and that wasn't going to happen because I decided to do categories that were really close to each other, which is another thing I want to discuss because you decided to do open, and I decided, well, with my coach's advices, to do, which was an experience. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm just saying it was an experience to do 2 age groups because I'm kind of in that cusp. And I felt like it was extremely competitive. I was like, maybe I would have done better in your category. I whatever it was, it's done, and I learned a lot from. But like, I think that those are the 2 things that I thought about after. Those were the things that came down, and like we're like, okay, maybe. The photos that we did. Maybe I would have done backstage photos with the guy who did that, and his work, I saw his work. I don't remember his name right now. Do you remember his name? The guy backstage who's doing photos?
TK.
Yeah. His stuff is really beautiful. It like I looked at some of the photos and I was like, oh my God, they all look like Marilyn Monroe. Or like, all that, like they're beautiful. Meaning like, until you experience, it's really hard to know what's going to happen. So regardless, right? So that, and then what else did I write down here? Yeah, those were the things that I really was like, damn, that could have been, oh, and our photo shoots. I think that I nailed. I mean, there's like the list, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I got what I wanted. So I don't know yet what the pictures from Max looks like. And Max, heck, is amazing. First of all, she brings her own self to the stage. She's fun to work with. I really appreciate people who are true to themselves in general, regardless of the outcome. And what I do appreciate even more so, people who do that with respect for others. Like, they're not going to be like, oh, I disagree with you. They'll be like, no, I'm doing my own thing. I'm going to do my thing. And this is what I'm doing respectfully. That's beautiful. So I celebrate people who can do that. And she does a great job with that. And working with her did feel like a fashion editorial. Like, back in the days when I would do these and do tests or work with somebody, just right up in there. Oh, Alexa, no. She agrees. Yeah, so I had an amazing experience with her. We were outside, we did that. And then I did pictures with my partner and my dog. I got a Sean, off of the WBFF. It wasn't through them that time. But it was after he worked through his, thing with them. And also, I mean, Dennis is amazing. You worked with Dennis, right?
Yeah. So I did a photo shoot on Tuesday and I was like,
and then Toby, sorry. And then worked with Toby because Toby does, he did some of the stage pictures too. Toby works with the WBFF and is an amazing posing instructor. Yeah. I worked with him prior, not this time around, but he's also amazing. I mean, all these people are really good at what they do. Yeah. And he's like, if you ever have a chance to work with him, he is really good at getting those body shots.
Okay.
Like there's something that he knows how to do there that like I haven't seen through other people. So it's very signature to his work, but they're beautiful. And so I knew that was important, getting that, because if you're going to go through transformation, it's going to take about 2 years. You got to give yourself that body grace and being like, okay, that's what I look like. And you could see the work, you see the core, you see the definition. So those were the 3 that I worked with. And respectfully, like I had a great experience. And if the timing was a little off or was running a little late or the makeup, whatever, the hair, it was all doable and workable because it was worth it. That's what I will say about that. So, I have worked with Dennis before. Dennis and Tessa are amazing people. I love them.
I love them too. Like it was what I needed. I booked it on Tuesday because a lot of times if I regret not taking the content. I knew I'd use at least do one because it's going to take however many weeks to get back to here. You're going to regret it if you don't capture this shape. Do it even if you're tired. Just take the photos, book the shoots. I wish I would have done more, really. Honestly, I wish
I think like I was going to say, added to what I was going to say, but I don't want to take away from your conversation. I was going to say, I learned from my experience with that. The way I did it was because I had experiences prior of how I did it. So the only person that I haven't worked with before was Max. And that was the variable of not knowing, but Toby and Sean I've worked with before. So I already knew what to expect and I knew what to bring. So it wasn't so overloaded with information, but I don't know what to do. No, I knew what to do.
Yeah. I mean,
I think what I was going to say is I think you should throw yourself one variable if you're going to do that. And if you can book as much as you can with your energy, after show is hard.
It's hard.
Before show is hard. In show is hard. So it's all hard. So, you gotta.
I will never shoot after show. I'm going to tell you Sunday, you will catch me at brunch or on an airplane. I will not.
No, you are right. It's hard. But the schedules are booked. You gotta. So tell us. Sorry, I interrupted the Dennis thing. Tell us.
Yeah, no, it was great experience because again, I've done a lot of photo shoots, but bikini photo shoots or fitness photo shoots. I haven't done a lot of high fashion modeling stuff, but I've always wanted to. So I really planned out my looks of very strategically what I wanted. I had a dress and I had a bodysuit look. I wanted 2 separate things, but I wanted them to be classy. I didn't want it to be too slutty. I didn't want it to just be tits and ass. I wanted it to look.
I understand.
Classy. I want to be a fitness model. I want model shots. So that I got exactly what I wanted, and seeing the pictures and getting the hype from Tessa, she's oh my gosh, yeah, girl, work it.
She is a wonderful hype girl. There's something
woman
magical.
She's looking
magical
at
about them.
like
Yeah.
the shots, and we're like, oh my God, fire, fire, fire. And I'm like, guys, I needed this. I was really nervous. I felt so good looking at this because you really don't know kind of in your head what you look like. And then when you see like a high quality image and you're just like, that's me. I'm like, geez, that looks pretty good. Like, okay, I like this. So it was good to do it before to gain that confidence kind of going into the weekend of, wow.
Did you do the fit and firm?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was saying with Max is going to be, Max has those pictures, and I think Allison is the one that like oversees that, and she is a wonderful boss woman. Like, I love her and respect her because it is hard to pull this stuff off.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I don't know how she does it. I mean, I get it that she has people assisting and helping, but she's got to direct it. You got to be a director. Like when I saw her, I was like, I am in awe of you.
No, seriously, it's like you got a lot going on, and just to manage a worldwide organization and like a worldwide event, like the planning of that for all of it to work pretty like seamlessly, it's hard. Like I work and we do events and we put on shows and stuff like that, and like there's so much work.
I didn't know that you did that. We didn't even talk about our day jobs of how we like extra. We are hustlers in our own right too. Like we have there are multiple things happening. But production is something else. Like
it is.
I just respect
yeah
people who can drive the car, meaning like, I know what I'm doing. I got this. It's going to work. We're going to make this work. Let's do it. And that takes a lot. And like I was saying, you got to be a boss lady. You got to feel that you can move forward. And so I felt really happy I was able to tell her that in, you know, my own way, because this is also a brand, you know, so it goes along with celebrating all the different types of people. And if you looked around the room, there were so many different looks. I'm not talking about like the, you know, the way that you think or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like you put that to the side. Like I definitely looked around the room and had appreciation for everybody in that room because everyone looked so different.
Yeah. I agree. Everyone did look so different, like body type, conditioning, like it was literally what looked best on that athlete, like curly hair, short hair, long hair, tattoos, no tattoos, like like tall, short, like wide, not wide. I don't know, like every shape represented it. And I loved getting to see what everyone's look was because it was different.
Right. And then you had the people coming to support that were not necessarily competing, but they were there to see and be with the group. And I admire that. And then going back to the like-minded concept, like you can, you don't have to like there's this idea of a family. Yes, we're all family because we all are like-minded. But if you look at it from like-minded ideas, if we're all like-minded, we can find love within. So just because, you know, somebody doesn't necessarily agree with the way you look or the way it works for them on you and blah, 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 you're still like-minded because you are coming in on something that you both love and are passionate about, right?
Yeah. No, it's like instant friendships because you're doing this process together. Okay, how much time did you spend looking for gowns and of getting here and the photo shoots and this, and you all share that very niche experience together in that weekend. And so it is great to celebrate of like,
it's like,
you know,
I have donuts. Do you want donuts?
I have all these donuts. Please
donuts.
Cookie. Do you want this? And like it's really like everyone was in good spirits. Everyone was happy. It was just,
you know what I loved about the room that we ended up in? I mean, we had somebody who did pro shows before. I mean, she is like amazing in her costume. She did like fitness, right?
Yeah.
But like it was me, you, and another girl, you know, I don't know if she wants to be mentioned on the podcast. I'm trying to be nice about names, but like she also was new at this. Like we found each other in a room. We were all like, this is our first pro debut. And I thought that was very serendipitous.
It was cool. Yeah. So so in the backstage, they have little dressing rooms. So we found a dressing room.
Sorry. I forgot we were on a podcast.
Oh, I know. So I'm just trying to explain for people. So backstage, there's like little dressing rooms. They're like little small boxes with mirrors and chairs and stuff. And you put all your food and you just kind of wait backstage. And then it's all like a hallway thing. Then there's like the actual backstage area. So, you just kind of go and you just sit and like, it's kind of like your first day at a school lunch table. Like, can I sit with you? And so you just are like, can I room with you in the dressing room, because you have to share. So again, like I didn't know if it was gonna be good girls, not good girls, and I'm like,
if someone's gonna spill my lunch on me.
Right. I'm just like, I hope like no one's gonna like hide my bikini, or like I don't know, like we're worst case, like you see those drama movies and that's kind of like
what was that movie, Mean Girls?
Yes, Mean Girls. That they're gonna look at you and be like, cute skirt, and then be like, oh my god, no.
Right, like look the hair,
right. And it's not like that at all. So us three, we're all nervous. We're all like super like, oh, it's our pro debut. It's like, really? Okay, we can be like sharing this experience of like our first time. And I know that we were like talking about like, oh my gosh, I was so nervous, I forgot my routine. She's like, oh my god, me too. I had no idea what I was doing. It's like, okay, great. I'm not the only one.
I just I'm laughing because like, yeah, it's like we found each other, we went through the experience together, and like going back to like being online for registration, like we found each other. Then what was even funnier? We found each other during makeup and hair, right?
Yeah.
My sister got the video. Friends, family came right when they could. What else? Like it was that system of finding those people that was really helpful. And then like the appreciation for people who had the crowns, like that we got to see everybody and be in the experience at the same time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like I was in my stage gown, and then we were seeing the world champions come out like from the previous classes. So like every single time someone won a crown and a world title, like it's just you see it, and
you got to see that. I saw it on stage, which was even hard, like weirder, like to process, because you're like, wait a minute, I'm on stage and I get to see this. But the girls, like, it was interesting. Everybody was very appreciated. Like very rarely do you find the negative, oh, me versus you in this organization. A lot of the women are like, and I speak this very openly, they appreciate each other or they wouldn't be doing this. Even having a competitor that's similar to your body type on stage was a big excitement for me. When I saw girls, no offense to anybody who's shorter than me, I'm very tall, I'm 6 feet. When I saw somebody who was 5'10", I'm like, yeah, I think it levels you up, right? Ooh,
yeah,
sandwiches again. Yeah, there's something about being in the space with people who hold the energy, right?
Yeah, it was so nice. Like normally sometimes I get sad post show, or if like, you don't win or anything, that's kind of like a, whatever. But I didn't really feel that way. I kind of like felt like I kept riding this high and it just got better and better. And then,
well, that's because you did win, right?
Yeah, no,
that's really, the difference, right?
I did. So I walked away with what I needed from it. And it was just validation of like years of hard work and the chance to get to showcase it. I was like, literally when I was on the stage, it was just, I was like, it doesn't even matter. Like if I win, it's going to be in the future when it's meant to be. I was like, I don't know if it's today or tomorrow or yesterday, but I'm having fun right now. I was like, this is so crazy that I get to, as a career, go on stage in a sparkly bikini and have fun with like, and meet people.
Yeah, you didn't answer. We didn't talk about that. I stated what I stated, but like, I want to know how you decided to do that move. I thought it was very smart. The change costume for bikini. Like, how did that happen? Was it planned?
I do a lot of research and I'm very competitive. So I saw last year, and then I did meet with Allison, and she told me that some girls change their outfits from the morning show to the night show. So I did take that advice and I applied it. And I was like, I asked Diana, I was like, do they take pictures in the morning and the night? Because if they only took pictures at one, I wouldn't have done it. But because they were taking stage shots in the morning and the night, I knew, because I worked for a bikini company.
That was
I was like,
really
marketing wise, I want to be in as many suits as possible. So let's do an alter ego look. Let's come out in colors that I couldn't have done in the past. In the past organization, like could never do a lilac, could never do a multicolor, could never do black. So I'm like, let's do all the colors that like I've competed in 10 shows. So I've done
oh,
every
wow.
I've done a new suit color. So I've done red, I've done green, I've done blue, I've done purple, I've done teal. So I've done a lot of different colors. So I'm like, all right, let's keep going. Let's do the rainbow. I want to hit every color. So those are two colors that I really want to.
I think I've done what you did 10, you said. I think I've done I have to count them out with you. I mean, we can definitely talk about that without going into like the do's and don'ts of it, but like I think if you do it 6 shows, you become somewhat of a pro of what to do next. At least you have like a
yeah.
map.
Oh
You have a
yeah.
map,
The more
right?
shows that you do, you just learn. So it's like every show, okay, what are we changing? Hair, makeup, suit, tanning, like the actual look. Then you
Right.
change that. Then it's like the body's changing. Then again, feedback again. Okay, didn't like that. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. And so you kind of take all of the guesswork out of it. So when it's you're just kind of tweaking that perfecting your look. Okay, I didn't
Right.
like that color. I didn't like that pose. I didn't like that smile. And then you just keep going. But after you do it a certain amount of times, like I knew, all right, I have all this, like I had a packing list. I keep the same packing list in my notes. It's always the same. It changes a little bit based on how many days and stuff, but it's already made. So I just click yes, like when I pack, like I keep the packing list. It's the same now. I know exactly what to expect from
Oh, packing list, earrings. Girl, you lent me your earrings.
yeah.
Remember?
I've just
So
in
like
case.
I lost an earring, right? And so I had other earrings, but you're like, no, go big.
More,
Very cute.
more, get the bling, big bling. So like wherever you can, just like, level. I like very much strategically, I was so worried something was going to go wrong. So I tried to plan for worst case scenario. I had
Right.
backup heels, I had a backup suit, or I had backup dress, or I had sewing kit. I had all this stuff because now I know what was important and to bring and what I could have not. I way overpacked.
And this is the thing, I definitely did the same
Yeah.
like you did. But like what was nice was that the reciprocation for, let's say somebody hurt themselves, you were able to assist others. And so that in itself to me is beautiful.
yeah.
So like I had band-aids, I was able to give another girl band-aids. Somebody was able to give me a back of an earring, and then that earring got lost. But the point was that like there was a reciprocal energy to doing that. So be open to helping someone out.
Yeah, because I just wish like if anything were ever to happen and it was me that needed something, that someone would have extras to help. And I've been that girl that's like, oh my God, I don't know what, like I don't have this. And so now I know it's like just pack extra. It's if you don't need it, someone else might. Like someone lost their stash. Like my friend Jane,
right. Oh my God.
so devastated. She was like so upset that she lost her stash. And I was like,
She was going around like,
go wear mine. I'm not gonna go do the parade. She's like she was like shocked. I'm like, yeah, just put it back whenever you're done. I was like, I'm not wearing it right now. Go use it. It doesn't matter. So like little things like that is just, I guess says more about like who we are. It's just, the energy.
yeah, it is about who we are and what we trust. And so going back to how we respond to the energy, it's how we respond to things. And that is key. That is key because it changes the game. Changes the game. But anyway, on a light, like the superficial aspect of the suit, I thought it was genius. Like,
thank you. I loved it.
I was like, wait a minute, but I was late for the first part of it because I also did another a don't do. I found a makeup artist that I really liked the way she did my makeup, and I should have learned this lesson before, but I waited for her. And not that it was bad or good to wait from her, but like it definitely didn't give me enough prep time to set up, get the space, put my suit on, find where I wanted to be. But I think energetically, there's always a reason to things. So I'm not going to shoot, the other foot because the foot was, hurt. I am going to embrace this and be like, okay, next time. But I was trying to really listen to my intuition through my experience. And
Yes.
so that is also key. So that this was hard to do. Have a plan and then listen to your intuition. If your intuition says don't go left, don't. You know what I mean? And then you have to kind of like learn from that. So was it okay to be late? Probably not. But what did it create for me? It created that I was able to get there in a certain way. And that's how it happened. But I was on time. And panicking wasn't part of that. So, like losing an earring, somebody helping me helping them, finding the right people, making those little itty bitty connections along the way sometimes is meant to be. So I'm not going to say going left is right when, you were supposed to go right. And then it was better if you went left. So it's really your own personal, does that make sense? Like your own personal way of getting there. So, and that's like believing in what it's meant to be, right? Yeah. So like if you were late, maybe you were supposed to be late.
Yeah. I mean, there's really like,
what did you learn from being late? Maybe right. I won't do that again. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a learning experience because I knew it was my first one. So I was like, regardless of what happens today, I'm going to learn stuff.
That's exactly. It's so funny that you said that because I said that same thing to myself at the beginning. Is what you just said, is that like whatever this is, I'm going to learn from this. But the most important thing that I'm going to try and do is be present. It was really weird because I was like, I'm being present. Oh, I'm not doing so much social media, right? Like that was another thing on my list. You are so much better at that than me through the process. You were going around getting pictures with people. You felt good about what you were wearing.
I don't remember show day. Like I don't remember it at all. Like I literally didn't think I got any pictures with people. Like I don't remember it. I was like, but I think my adrenaline was so high that it like blocked that memory out of my brain because
there are memories that I blocked out, but we're not going to share it today.
Yeah, like because I went back and I looked through my camera roll and I thought like me and my posing coach, I was so upset that we didn't get any pictures together because I looked through my camera roll and was like, gosh dang it. I was like, me and Diana didn't get
Diana is a queen. I love her.
But she texted me like a week after and goes, hey girl, is like this okay to post of us? And I was like, I literally swear to you, I have no recollection of this picture. And it's not, I was like, it just had to have been stress. It had to have been adrenaline. Like I was present and one of my goals going into the show was to be more present and to try to be off my phone. But at the same time, I've done this long enough where I regret not taking as many content pictures.
That's the thing. So like if we are lucky to be gracing the stage again together, which I really hope to God,
I think you probably
whatever universal presence or whoever's in charge up there, that we will definitely do more of that. Like, I did really appreciate that you were like, I'm getting into this shot.
Yeah. There was like content. I was like, that's all my goals was like get amazing content.
Because of you, I put on my suit again and I took some pictures.
I know
I actually had freaking content. Yeah. I almost didn't do that. And so like listening to your gut is crucial, and going back to that, like following your intuition and how you're going to plan. So the fact that you met with Allison of what to do, that was really smart. I mean, I've done so many shows before, but maybe that's something that I would do in the future. If I'm doing the next show, is like, hey, how can I make this better for my stage? I'm a very tall girl. I come out on stage, I look runway. It's really hard for me to always transform this into Smiley. That was another thing that I probably could have changed for myself. But when I looked at the glute pictures from side to side, I was like, this is fucking amazing. My ass looks amazing. It was the weirdest shit.
That's so funny.
You know my sister, right?
Yeah.
She's so funny. She goes, "Don't do that. Your ass looks amazing. Don't put your hands there." I was like, it's just, yeah. And so I'm very proud of myself. And as much, like my team, they want me to have more legs. That's fine. But like the last package that I was at, I looked at the pictures and I was like, wow, my legs look so much better now.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
remember, like you have to, what are they looking for that group also plays a part. So even if you looked like a supermodel, and I can say this humbly with the ego put to the side, that I definitely looked really good. There was a length to me that was different than the other girls. I'm also a natural girl. I don't have any additive pieces to me. That showed on stage. I could have been more, smiley. I'm not used to that. Like, even like I did it, like it was 50-50, right? Like,
Yeah.
what do you expect?
So I literally like,
I saw your shots. You were like,
it felt like in my
Beautiful.
mind, I was a deer in headlights because that wasn't what I practiced. I stage shots, and I sometimes if I take sexy too far, it looks pissed off. Like it goes from like smizing to RBF real quick. So some of those shots, I'm like, okay, maybe a little too much. Like throw in a smile just so they know that you're happy.
Can I say something? Wait, hold your thought. Like Dennis catches you in the moment.
Yeah.
He is so good at catching the magic, I call it, because it is what it is. And so if you have to look at something to change, those are the best things to get. And so
I wish I was animated with my face.
But you get more objective as you do it. And I will tell you that I'm so not critical anymore.
No, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not smiling.
I love
look at my abs. Right.
Yeah. I loved it. I love my look. I love that condition. I love that package. But I was like, for the next time, I want to have very animated facial expressions. So I have not all sexy. I have a huge smile. I have, this. I have
myself. Right.
Yeah. Just because on stage, I think in comparisons, I was prepared for it, but I wasn't prepared for how many front poses we were going to be doing. Like we were in the front pose for so
long. They probably made you work harder because they had like a lot of girls up there. You know, like 12 girls.
Yeah. Like,
15 to 12, they make you work a little bit harder.
I practiced like I don't know, 4 or 5, like a routine of like a cycle. So it was, I had 4 or 5 moves and then I would switch them. And then I felt like I was doing the same thing. So then I was like, looking kind of, I could feel the energy of what they're doing next to me. So then I start doing their poses and I'm like, what is happening?
Well, so this is what's so funny. I felt that I did so much better when I was like, I call it the huddle. Me and my sister watched a show once and we called it the huddle because all the girls come and they huddle. They like pose against each other. So I felt like I did better there instead of the lineup because it was like, it was free forming to the energy around you. And so when you like, I can match that. Hey, I can match that. That to me is fun. And it's not, I don't think it's competitive. It's just a different flow. When you're doing your own thing, it's also challenging because it's about a 50-50%. You have to be so present to the feeling, oh, I'm going to smile. Yeah. So yes, the headlight thing can happen. I would say it happens about 50% of the time in your walk. And that's only about what, not even a minute.
I mean, it's okay. So I count it's like 15 steps. So like you have like.
Right. Yeah. Some people counted I remember you saying that. You said there's like 15 steps to the point.
Well, it was like, I think it was 12 to the center, 15 to the next center. It was like 8 here, 15 here, 8 there. I know for me, that's how like when I learned poses, I think very like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. So that's kind of like how I was thinking about it of like, okay, how far do I have to go? Because I don't want to miss the mark. So I need to focus on something.
Right.
I don't even remember what I like the intention when I went, I didn't have one. So like going into the next time that I'm on stage, you really have to have the intention of your mind of the emotion that you want the audience to feel.
Right, like what you're carrying to what's your message.
I was just like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Like I'm next, I'm next, I'm next. And then like when I went on stage, it didn't feel like I was in control.
Can I say you don't see any of that in your photos?
No. I'm
Your
very
photos you posted. No.
But in my head, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't think I'm ready for this, but here we go. We're getting on the stage. And so the second that I go into the center box, I cannot remember anything. I do this weird thing with my hands and my brain goes, that's not our routine. And then I'm like, I literally don't know how to move my body.
So I was going to say that's one of the reasons why I switched up for my posing instructor, not because of like conformity or restriction. One of the goals for me with her, and she nailed it. And of course, like at the beginning, you're like, oh, did it do a good job? But like, I love her. She had sass. She does wellness and she is a new pro. But like when I hired her to work with me, I wasn't looking at the status of where she was. I just saw her potential because I knew she can pull it out on me. Because like I said, when you're doing runway, you just walk and you're like, this is the close and check it out. And I'm going to turn and you're just going to see me. And then I go, I don't hang out and, it changed. The modeling world changed a lot. When I was doing it, that's what we did. So, and that's my experience, right? So relearning how to hold that energy of sass and presence and presentation of yourself and what you're doing, that's a whole nother game. So if you can get 50% of that right, fine, because they don't know that you work another 75%.
Right. No one knew that I like messed up my routine, but in my head, I was literally thinking like, I don't know what comes next. I'm like, all right, pull it together. Let's restart.
Right. So Christina and her posing, she's in Australia. She's amazing. If anyone hears this, lots of love to her. She's worked in other federations. So, and now she's a wellness pro, right? And she won third, I think. But the point of what I'm trying to say about her was that she was able to unlock like some of my carefreeness. And so when I did get stuck, that wasn't a problem.
No,
because I could turn it around. I can, hi, they don't know. And it happens. It happens about 50% of the time for me in my head. So, so that's something that I learned from and I changed. So going back to that like thing we talked about, it's big. The
individual routine, the first time I was like, after I got that out of the way, it was fine. The comparisons came out. But the second time in black suit, I literally was like, oh, I wish that would have been the only part that they could have seen. Because
I know. That's because but you came alive at night. Like I'm getting really close to the camera because the sun is like, I will figure out a better setup next time we come online. That's the thing. At night we're different. The morning show is hard because it's early, your stomach's pissed off, you're not really quite sure, you're already off on a regimen, you're working out, someone came in, your family is here, blah 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 blah, a lot of noise. And it is really hard to meditate, which I do every morning 11:30. I do meditation and a wisdom training course, and it's like spiritual practice is part of what I have to do to be here on this earth. I don't know, whatever it is, it works for me. The point of what I'm trying to say is to be clear on your goal and objective is really hard to do when there is a lot going on around you and you have to channel in. And if you can't match that energy, that's okay. You have to give yourself the grace to be like, okay, I learned. But it's hard in the morning. You will look different in the morning versus night. Night, you go out there and you have a good time, regardless of what your judging score is. People have asked me, like, do they give you a number? Do they count? Do they blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, I'm really not sure how that works. And that's okay. But before I was probably like, I don't like it. But now I'm kind of like, no, I saw what I looked like. And that's because I put in the work to see where I'm going. So regardless of what someone sees me as a number or a non-number, I know I did my best. But like I saw my posing. I saw myself and I was like,
you don't. And
that's another thing. Right. And we were supporting other girls who felt the opposite of what I'm talking about. We did,
Yeah.
because we understand it.
Yeah, there was a lot of girls that were like upset, that they either didn't make what they had came there to do. And I think that is just like lack of the
But
focus. Their focus was
right, but the upset should drive you, and that's
no,
what I'm
yeah.
trying to say.
Because
Like a lot, and that's what I'm talking about here. Is like let it drive you to do a better job next time for whatever it is for you, not for what you listen, take it in, hear it, see how it works.
yeah. I mean, like
Can't
I get
put
it.
a size 11 in a size 9 foot. It just hurts.
Mhm. I
Sorry.
like, no, I just want to make sure we really like nail this. It's because like, everyone that doesn't win is going to feel a certain type of way, right? There's
Right.
going to be some people that are going to express it emotionally. They're going to get upset because like that is raw emotion and it is fine to experience it. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset. It shows that you care, but you can't let it overcome and overtake you. And like you said, use that energy and that emotion to get better. You don't want to feel like that again. So get better and then realize that it is not always about outcomes in a subjective sport. This is what we're doing.
This is an extremely subjective sport. And like, if you look up the word beauty, like and the definition of beauty, and I've been doing this, been looking up words a lot because I feel like English is constantly rebirthing in my head. The definition of beauty is a very subjective, like word. It is what is going on around you. It's like what is beautiful here is not beautiful there. So it in itself is transformable. Like it's not. If you ask Alexa, like, what is beauty? She'll tell you it's not what you think it is.
Yeah. No, I mean, everyone, like when you're thinking about, WBFF or fitness pageant bodybuilding, it is subjective. It's not a clear cut and dry. Okay, she was the most beautiful, but what does that mean? Like, is it because of her presence or her hair? Or what set her apart? Was it an it factor? What just drew us to like this person over this person? Was it the suit? Was it the gown? Was it like it doesn't, we don't know. We really don't know what they're looking for. And at the end of the day,
right,
yeah.
right. You just said gowns, and I'm just gonna say straight out, we rocked our gowns.
Oh, yeah, we did. I like
we
my
did.
gown.
I had a gown moment. I definitely did, and it's caught on film, so I can say. And if it wasn't, I would say.
No, wow. I being on stage in a gown. Like I literally felt like a queen. Like I did.
But you are. That's what we're embracing here. We are all queens. We're just presenting our work.
Yes.
And when we present our work, we got to be a little more objective to what is the definition of beauty. And just for the giggles of it, Alexa, I hope you're loud enough. Alexa, what is the definition of beauty? Can you hear? Beauty is a radiance that originates from within and comes from inner security, strong character.
What did she say?
So it's pretty much inner. She didn't go into the subjective.
She said beauty is defined as your
inner. Yeah, it's part of the inner definition.
Oh, so, okay. Love this. I think who you believe you are on the inside is a direct reflection of your outside. And until those two match, honestly,
amen.
You're not ready for that crown or that win until.
And I say this all the time. There's a responsibility. I said it to you. I think I said there's a responsibility that comes with the crown. Yeah. Like if you're gonna want the crown, you got to be ready to handle the energy that comes along with it. You have to present that all the time for that. So if you can and you are set up, go for it. If you're not completely ready, that's okay. Go with that. And why is that different from each other? They're still very, very tangible goals. Right?
Yeah. No, I agree.
And how many beautiful people were there? Like there wasn't not one non-beautiful person.
Every single athlete that competed was absolutely stunning. Like beautiful
in their own right. Did you see the woman that was like she was like all 50s? Oh, she's so beautiful.
Because everyone showcased it and what made sense to them. It was
Right,
there from
which
the
is the
start.
individual beauty aspect that I'm talking about, the internal beauty that shines through. It's the light within you that comes out. So if you're at 50%, which what I was talking about on stage, I like, this is another thing I wrote down that I want to say, and I know I keep going back and forth, but I haven't seen Savannah in like, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, so girl, this is key too, right? 2 weeks. But the energy that was held during that 2 week period is now different because we are watching. We're looking at what happened. I think there's so much that I want to say on that it could be like a whole nother hour.
Yeah.
But we we have to space our time. But there's something about that like there were so many beautiful people with their own energy, right? So
Yeah, so when I started competing, when I go on stage, I go on like not just for me, but for like what it represents to have that platform to be on stage. When I am on stage, like I am a representation of who I was. And I want to show other girls like you can do anything, you can do hard things, you can, achieve your goals, whatever it is. Like going on a pro stage was very scary for me. Doing my pro debut at Worlds was very scary. Making the transition from the old organization that I was doing to the new WBFF, that was a huge deal. That was a very, very hard thing. And I was like, you know what? I want to just follow what makes me happy. And I think everyone.
Right. You followed your internal gut. And I, like you, did the same thing and had those same feelings, just so you know. And it was a slow transition to find where you felt that you fit, and you're still working on it. And that is okay. I think that's the message that we're both saying is it's okay to be where you're at. And everybody there was different. So there was really no definition of what was the it at the time. So, right?
Yeah, like it wasn't, and I really love that it's not solely about the physique. I love that because who you are off stage is really important. It's not just the 15-20 minutes that you're on stage. Yes, that is a huge factor in it, but it says way more on the 364 days of who you are as an athlete, who you are as a person going into that show.
365 days, just because you just said that, and I feel like I need to say something, so hold your thought, please. And I'm sorry, this is just the way I process. I've been working on these mantra cards at 365 days a year. I have a card for each one of them. So we're still in loop. Like we are almost done, and it's going to have some of my artwork on the back of it. And I'm going to send you some when it's time, and you'll get to read yours on your podcast or wherever you want. But like, it's so important to me that every day when we do wake up, that we find that work, so we make this worth it. We're here on this earth. We don't know how long we're going to be here. Let's rock that day. Even if we're not feeling it, we can find the middle 50%, or give me 2.5, whatever it is. Just give it, like, be here. Right?
No, I 100% agree. You can get, I mean, this is daily life, right?
That's so funny that you said 365, because I've been working on it for a long time. And I believe that by Christmas time, Hanukkah, Christmas, all the New Year's celebrations, that's when it's going to be birthed, like official. So that's part of my branding. It is doing that. It's just being in that. So I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm totally with you on that.
Has been extremely transformative. This prep, every prep I grow as a person inside and out. I think when I think back to this one, it's just more of like, what else can I do if I set my mind to it? Like that, I really love a prep because it is hard. But it is a goal so far, and you just realize
you're saying that you enjoy the work.
I love it. I love getting up to go to the gym. I love doing my nutrition. I love my.
You love doing the work. So, this is the funniest thing that I heard from my like a holistic teacher, and she's also an acupuncturist. She said some people just don't like doing the work, and I can understand it from here, but we're not all driven that way, right? So how can I show you how to do the work? It can be fun. like you said, I live where I live because I don't want to deal with the drama. Like, right. So it's like presenting yourself in a space where you can breathe. I just like, I
Yeah.
live in New York City. I get it. I totally get it. And
Life is too short to have a bad experience, no matter what you're doing, no matter what goal you have.
beautifully said, beautifully said.
It is like, and so at the end of the day, like, okay, we didn't win our bikini competition.
Right. Right.
The world's gonna move on.
But
Like it's gonna be okay.
But I, like I said, went in like being totally okay with that.
No, it was so weird. I was okay. I was so okay with it. I was
Yeah,
so
I
okay.
I think I struggled with that like a couple of shows ago, but like this time around, I was just like,
No,
I am going to enjoy
yes,
the
fully.
people around me. I am going to enjoy the
Yeah.
dresses.
Yeah.
I'm going to dress up. I just should have taken more pictures.
Yeah.
And I should have showed up more at the social events on time to do more of those pictures. And I should have pushed myself through, but the energy wasn't that clear, you know, with that kind of thing. Like a lot of girls really push themselves to get what they need to get done. And I admire that. I need to do it on my own way. And so each time you learn, right? But I met so many beautiful people, right?
Yeah, no, it was literally my favorite show ever. And every show is my favorite show ever. So the next show will be my favorite show ever. And the next show will be my favorite show.
Ginger agrees. She just said, bark, bark.
Okay, good. No, like,
Yeah.
so what are your plans now? What are you thinking about doing? Is there anything
Well,
next?
this is the thing that, like, you know, a lot of women have to kind of figure out about their family planning, right? That's crucial to their biological DNA. And just because I look a certain way, I still have an age. And so I need to figure that part out. And I have a plan for that, but I'm not going to go out and just drop it out on a podcast. Yours, I love you. So I'm sharing that with you as a friend. And, you know, we all want us to move forward, but like during a process where I have to grow, that's an opportunity also, right? Because you have to grow. Working out with that, I definitely, the goals and objectives and the feedback from my coaches, we want to be bigger. Now, that's fine. I definitely think that, like you did, which was so smart, talk to, you know, have your meet with Allison because she's the boss lady. She knows what they're looking for. Maybe directly do that next time to know what they want in that particular, but staying within my body type. Like, I love working with Allie's Angels because of two things. They keep me on track. And I respond about 75% to it. The other part of me is always going to rebel. I am a rebel at heart. I grew up in a very religious environment. I broke away at a very young age. I don't have time for that. So I embrace my rebel. And knowing that about who I am allows me to have the freedom to carry within my mission in this world. I guess my mission is to support and help people too along the same mission as mine, which is what we're all trying to figure out, is how to love each other, right? And how to move forward in a positive light. So that's all nicely said, but putting it through action, we still are in a time, space, body, right? We're the physical. So it's work. So I, like you, like the work. But you know, that's a lot. That's a lot to process, right? I hope I answered the question. I mean, but growing up very religious gave me some shape or form of discipline. So I'm not angry at that. I'm not. And I have a very big understanding of the idea of God, right? So I've taken what I've learned and I've conformed it, and I'm open to hearing everyone's way of finding their own divine. And I say that with beautiful thoughts towards every religion, because if you cannot feel your connection to what you're believing in, you're going to be lost. So you got to like find what roots you and what grounds you, and then you can work on the body, mind, and soul. And those are the concepts that allows you the freedom to live in the physical. And like something's going to miss. You don't want to be the pretty girl, just the pretty girl on the wall. Like you want to show what you got inside going on too, because that is the spice of who you are, right? Like what is another way of saying it? It's your essence, right? So you could just be a pretty girl, but that pretty girl will just be the pretty girl. Showing people who you are is part of that, right? And then connecting to some kind of, grounding thing that drives you. So if it's Jesus, that's great. If it's, Buddhism, that's great. If it's just spirituality, that's great. Even if you don't believe in God and you are like, diagnostic, right? Am I saying it correctly? Like you don't have the religion, but you have concept of humanity and you are a kind person, that's also great, right? Like I'm not telling anybody to be anything that they're not. I'm just saying that find something that keeps you grounded, right?
Yes.
That way you're not a kite in the wind, because that's what happens to those people is they're just, floating.
Yeah,
And so
I agree. Like it can be easy to look at what we do as, oh, they're just showing their ass on stage for likes.
correct. And that's what I wanted to end this part with too, is you said it in perfect language.
Not that at all. It is a marketing tool. Yes, we are shiny and flashy on stage, but if you actually look and get to know us a little bit better through podcasts, through our, videos or whatever, like you're going to realize that I know that this is my prime. I know that competing doesn't last forever.
I know. I challenge you on that. I think your prime is forever.
No, I will disagree on this. I think your prime
You're
is
talking about your physical prime of the aesthetics.
Yes, I am talking about physical prime of aesthetics.
Well, there we go.
That's where I know, it's between 25 to 35 before I can jump into masters for me personally. So I knew this when I was 21, when I started competing, that I was going to dedicate until 35 all competing. That was it. That was what I'm going to do, but that's my path. And
right, which is what you should do, because that's your path. Like that's what I was talking about.
But during that time, I realized like competing is what you make of it. You can be a great competitor and do nothing with your platform. You can be a great competitor and you can change lives. You can inspire people. You can motivate people. You can make friends. You can have a really freaking good time and a great experience. And a lot of times the best athletes, the most inspirational ones aren't necessarily the ones that are winning. So,
well, or the ones that are winning that will surprise you. Like Yaslin.
Yes.
Okay. I love her.
Love her so much.
You know what's so funny? 2 years ago, like we had a lovely conversation. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. I said to her, like, whatever you're doing is amazing. This is going to change what's going on for you. Cause I can feel it. Like I felt it. And I just had to say to her, I just keep your kindness in your heart. Like you will be unstoppable. Like there's something about her energy that is the factor. So like, she's a great example of somebody who's doing her thing.
I was so happy when she won again. Like
me too. I really did not like the social media stuff like that's been happening with certain people. It's really hard to hear all that, and we don't have to go into all of that, but I'm really proud of her because that girl has her little army. She could be like Beyonce and just zap those bees. She did not. That's impressive to me when you hold your own.
No.
So anybody who can hold their own, I have a lot of love for. Yeah. And it's fine. Like it's a factor. It's fine. Why? Like when somebody wins, we all win. That's how it should feel like. If you feel that somebody is winning and it's a threat to you and you're going to do negative behavior, then it's hard for everyone else. You got to do it with kindness and love in your heart because that's your mission, right? It's really hard to see it when you're also very involved. So like, I get both perspectives of all of that, but if you really think about it, it always goes to love. It always does. You can't run away from that. Can't.
Because I was like behind and I'm watching this happen and play out on stage. And I was like, seeing her and like that, I can empathize, I can feel it. Like when someone's winning, I feel their energy.
Me too. Well, that's
like,
why I think that's why we connected, because we were like, we are like-minded and we think higher, we think more out of the body than in the body, even though we're experiencing the body. It's just your process is different than mine.
it is. It is. I mean, we are different.
You think very tactical and linear. I'm actually here a lot of the time, but my kite is grounded. Like I'm grounded. Like I can pull it in. And you said it to me in line. You said you're not quiet.
You're not.
You said to me, you're not quiet. Like, and I said to you, like,
you're not quiet.
Meaning like some energy, this is how I see it. Like we're going to go back to what you were saying about her and how she handled stuff. Like she's amazing. But like the fact that she's done so much at such a young age, that's enough to say to you that she's been here before. I'm sorry. A lot of us have been here before. So I admire people who come back down, but that's a whole nother subject for another time. That's because I believe in the reincarnation aspect. But there's so much to talk about there. So you're going to have to interrupt me.
I know. Okay. So we're kind of getting to a great stopping point, but I do want to give you the opportunity, just if there's anything that's on your list that we haven't had a chance to talk about, just to do that now. If there's any advice that you have.
I think that being your authentic self is very brave. It's very brave. That's what I would tell people. And I don't want to cry about it, but like, I think that if we could be brave and we can stand up for what our gut is telling us, and then what the world, like, you know, I can have this conversation with many people trying things out, seeing if the shoe fits is a brave concept. Being able to be the girl who steps in the room and stands up for the others is a big deal. So embrace all of it, I guess I would say, and also be true to yourself of what you're doing. And I think the evolution of yourself is also just as important as the end goal, right? So, and I know that everyone says this, I know that, but really being in the experience is really challenging, and also knowing that part, like, you know, being in your experience. Like I have 9 siblings, okay? That's for another day, right? I have a lot of tools, right? So how do I use my tools to help me and the world around me? I guess that's how I would leave that part. And I hope to come back and chat with you and have more tea.
Yes, I would love to have you back on a different episode. So I will get this up. It won't be this Wednesday, but it'll be the next Wednesday. So if anyone wants to reach out to you to talk further about anything that we discussed, where can they do so?
They can reach me out at Yo's Idea Box on Instagram. I probably should have you just email me, right? Yocheved Berghoff at gmail.com, and, you know, or Yo's Idea Box at, you know, gmail.com. Okay, so at gmail.com. So it's Yo's Idea Box at gmail.com, or on Instagram at Yo's Idea Box. And Yo's Idea Box is my company of health, wellness, fitness, you name it. I'm also into, like, I've done this with a couple of clients, but I really want to channel in the visionary self, meaning like your vision boards, your vision of what you want to proceed. I'm really good at that. I'm good for that for sure. And like really recognizing all the good stuff about you, right? Oh, I see a tail wagging in the back.
Yeah, Blue's came up here. Hold on. I don't
so cute.
Here, he's
gotta see the puppy.
He's a lab. He's not a puppy. He's an old man.
I calling him a lab, the puppy, because, you know, they're all, oh my God, he's such a puppy. He's a baby. Hi.
He's an old man.
Oh my God, he's an old soul.
He's like 10.
He's your protector.
Yes, this is my little man.
I had a puppy. I always call them puppies for 15 years. Pinky. She was my protector. And now she's a little angel.
Yeah. Hey, you can go lay down.
Yeah, Ginger's working on it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I really am excited for this chat. So thank you for taking time and talking.
Thank you for taking time. This was awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. So I'll get this up. It'll be probably like 2 weeks from now. It'll be available on like all the podcasting sites, and I'll get it on YouTube. I'll get your contact information, and we'll see how this episode goes, what feedback that we get. So don't forget to like and make sure you subscribe to this episode. If you guys have any further follow-up questions, you can reach out to either of us on Instagram. We would love to hear from you about what you guys thought on this episode.
Bye.
Bye.